part 2 of Dr. Michael Kerr, an excerpt from his 2007 presentation at the Family Systems Institute conference, titled, "How is it that siblings often turn out very differently?"
Relationships can be threatening in the sense that it can leave people in these kind of positions I just described. How is it that instability in a relationship poses a threat? And my conclusion is that from clinical experience and reading the literature, that there are two fundamental threats that relationship instability poses. One is that it jeopardizes the security of attachments on which our emotional well-being depends. This is well supported, as I say, in both the human and the animal literature. The instability, disturbance in the relationship, of course, threatens the security of that connection. The other threat, also supported in the literature, is that relationship instability and the intensity that goes with it overloads the ability of people to cope with adverse social stimuli. It's just too much. Too much intensity is the way it's often expressed. I'm overwhelmed, overloaded, out of control. So given the impact, potential adverse impact of unstable relationships, it's not surprising that human beings have evolved finely tuned sensitivities to social cues that alert them to threats to important relationships. And these sensitivities include reactivity to the amount of attention that's being paid to us, whether we're being approved or disapproved of, whether others are meeting our expectations or whether we're meeting theirs, and of course, reactivity to distress in one another. All these things would be part of being a social mammal, and these have evolved. And I'll give an example of how this can work, that this person perceives some action from his wife as a threatening cue. And that threat triggers anxiety in this person, and the anxiety triggers behavior designed to reduce the threat. For example, a man interprets his wife's facial expression and tone of voice as indicating disappointment in him, not meeting her expectations. Consequently, he says and does more things to please her. She brightens up, and he feels less threatened. It seems that it would be difficult to be in relationships or to live in groups if people did not react to such cues and adjust accordingly. Again, it's part of the social process. And the responses that I've just described temper urges to do what we want to do when we want to do it.